Okay, you are 631 pounds.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Oh, that's gotta change. Oh my God.
Dr. Now has a way of getting to the truth, but even he's been blindsided. Over the years, some patients on my 600-pound life have gone to great lengths to hide their secrets, from secret eating habits to hidden relationships and medical lies. But when the truth finally came out, the consequences were explosive. Let's dive right into it, shall we? This is Renee's story. Every day, Renee is slowly harming herself with the sheer amount of food she consumes. At 53 years old, she has no clue what her actual weight is. For her, just making it through the night and waking up the next day feels like a small miracle. The big question is, will she be able to get the help she desperately needs from Dr. Now? Let's follow her journey and see how she begins.
Because I know I gotta stand up and walk, and it's just hard. I can't stand up for over 5 minutes. I break out into a sweat and my lower back feels like there's a hot knife sticking me.
Wow, it's such a relief that Renee has someone to support her through her mornings. Because of her weight, she can't even take a proper bath on her own. It's almost impossible for her to do it without help. That's a tough spot to be in, something no one should ever have to experience. It really shows how much her condition affects her daily life and independence.
It's very humiliating for me to have to ask my daughter to help me in the shower, because I remember bathing her when she was a baby. She shouldn't have to help bathe me, but there's just some spots that I can't reach anymore.
That makes complete sense. She simply can't skip her baths, as neglecting hygiene would only worsen her situation significantly. On top of that, she carries a heavy burden, feeling guilty that her own children have to take care of her, when really, it should be the other way around. It's heartbreaking to see someone in this position, knowing how much pride she must feel losing that role reversal with her kids.
And I know I'm not really living, I'm just existing. But I never thought I would be like this. All my life I felt like I was the outcast in the family because, I had a different father than my brothers and sisters.
That was painful to hear, like a punch straight to the heart. Renee reveals that even now, she has never felt truly loved by her mother. Her mother had an affair with her best friend's husband, and Renee was born from that affair. Feeling overwhelmed with guilt, her mom took out all of her anger and frustration on Renee, making her childhood extremely difficult emotionally.
One of my best memories as a kid is being with my grandma. When we would go to bed at night, we would lay in bed and read and eat ginger snap. It was one of the few things that made me happy, but things went downhill from there.
Wait, did she really say her mother allowed her stepfather to abuse her? That's absolutely horrifying. Renee's mom has to be one of the worst people imaginable to permit such a terrible thing to happen to her own child. Knowing this, it's easier to understand why Renee turned to food. It became her only source of comfort and happiness in an otherwise painful life.
I was in junior high. I loved my size then. Because I was curvy, I started getting a lot of attention from boys. And when I was 15, I found out that I was pregnant with my first child.
It really feels like things just keep spiraling for Renee. She ended up leaving school when she got pregnant with her first child. Not long after having her second, her husband began abusing her physically. It escalated to the point where he broke her nose and she needed surgery to fix it. That's not just physical pain. It's years of trauma stacked on top of itself. Renee has survived some incredibly dark chapters in her life, and it's heartbreaking to hear how much she's had to endure.
In a car accident while I was working in the sewing factory, and it ended up injuring my back so bad that I couldn't really sit up. So there went that job. I needed a way to make money, and that's when I discovered the internet.
Now this is just mind-blowing. I never imagined something like this even existed. After suffering an accident that left her unable to work, Renee was desperate to provide for her kids. The only option she felt she had was to become a feedee. Men online would literally pay her to eat excessive amounts of food on camera. It's shocking, but also deeply tragic. She felt trapped, using her body and pain to make money in the only way she believed she could. That's not just crazy, it's incredibly sad.
Waiting for one of my kids to come bring me food, or looking out the window at my grandkids play. That's basically it. Hey babies! Hola. Nick, can you come open my window please?
You know it's gotten really bad when the kid starts to cry over their parents' situation. Renee's daughter is worried that someday she might find her mom lifeless on the bed, and the thought of that happening brings her to tears. Renee needs to understand that she needs help.
I know I'm doing it for the greater good, because if I don't get help and get something done about my weight, I know I won't be around much longer. Oh, God.
I was honestly expecting this. Renee finally agreed and made the bold step to see the doc. They've been on the road for 2 hours and Renee's body is starting to get into a lot of discomfort. Hopefully she's able to make it to the hospital. It's good that she wants to see the doc.
I came to Houston to see Dr. Now and try to get better. But now I'm scared I waited too long to get help. I don't want to die here so far from home. What if all of this was for nothing?
Renee doesn't seem to be feeling too good, and that gets everyone worried. It was a long trip, and now her body is hurting real bad, and she is short of breath. It's so bad that they had to use a stretcher to get her into the hospital. Poor Renee.
To walk in more because you are very close to being immobile, and there is absolutely no reason for that.
Right.
And if we let that happen, that may be it for you.
Right.
Thank heavens, she knows that it's got to change. Renee finally gets to meet Dr. Now, and her weight is 631 pounds. I love the fact that she knows she has to change. She weighs a lot, but it looks like she is ready to do better for her health.
Right now, my biggest concern for Renee is her lack of support from her family. Even though they have set up an apartment here for her in Houston.
Wow, I can't believe this. You would honestly think her family would want to be around to help her get better. Sadly, that's not the case. This makes Dr. Now worried because Renee has made so much progress, but the fact that her family is not around her might make her go back to her old ways.
Please be careful, they hurt so bad.
And can you straighten out your leg?
Oh.
Where you hurting, in the knee?
The knee and lower parts on the side.
You can't argue with that. Losing 4 pounds every month is not going to get her to where she needs to be. I mean, we can't deny the fact that she's been trying all she can to lose weight, and it's not been easy, but she still needs to lose the weight.
We have had Renee here for a couple months. And at her last appointment, she was complaining that she was not feeling well. So I brought her here.
Oh my goodness. I can't deny the fact that I am worried about Renee. Dr. Now says that Renee was close to heart and kidney failure. That's scary. His solution now is to keep her in the hospital and put her on a controlled diet.
Nor is my bikini body.
Well, you're right about that. We can round you down to the scale. So now let's see if you have been making any progress with your weight loss.
Phew, am I glad to hear that. It's been a long time coming and we can all agree that her journey has not been an easy one, but she put in the work and now she's getting her weight loss surgery. She's probably the happiest person in the world right now.
Renee's surgery went very well. We were able to complete her operation in a short period of time and keep a lot of strain off her body. So we will get her to recovery and we'll get her up soon.
This is Alicia's story. Alicia wakes up every morning regretting that she has to live in her body. The sad thing is that she knows that she is killing herself and she doesn't know how to stop it. Her clothes can't even cover her entire body anymore. Is this going to be her wake-up call? Let's see about that. Here is how her journey starts.
I'm always worried about my ankles giving out and collapsing because my joints and muscles barely sustain my weight. My body has reached a point that I can't even go a few steps without being winded.
If you were wondering what hell on earth is, Alicia's situation is a perfect example. Alicia feels so much pain in her ankles anytime she tries to walk because, like she said, she has the weight of 5 people. That has to be devastating.
The thought of having to ask him for help to care for myself is mortifying. And I can't have him see me like this because I hate my body. Disgusting.
Looks like we know why she is in her current state. Alicia acknowledges the fact that food is a major problem for her, but at the same time, it's the only thing that keeps her sane. That has got to be challenging on her path. I wonder what happened that made her rely on food this much.
Mom that worked to support our family of 4, and my dad would go out to the bars drinking, so he wasn't really around much and didn't participate in our daily lives.
Yup, we definitely know the answer to that question now. Alicia says that back when she was much younger, her parents would always fight. Her grandmother's house became her safe haven because she always gave her ice cream, and that's where her addiction started.
Loved, and I didn't get to say goodbye. I was shattered, but I had no one at that point. My mom was embarrassed by me, and my dad was barely around, and the only person who had loved me was gone.
You can't even stay mad at her for eating so much food. The only person she loved and cared for passed away, and she never got to say goodbye. Trust me, that's enough to make your heart break a million times. Poor Alicia.
I was over 400 pounds, but my weight never held me back then. I still had friends, and I'd still go out. I even dated.
Wow, I honestly thought her life could get any worse. Alicia says that the guy she had a crush on when she was in high school raped her, and she couldn't tell anyone about it because no one believed a fat girl could be raped. That breaks my heart.
Our relationship has grown stagnant. And as time goes on, Alicia doesn't want to do hardly anything at all. She just wants to sit in front of the TV and eat.
That's not good at all. Apparently, Alicia and her boyfriend bonded over the fact that they were both addicted to something. Her boyfriend got clean and stayed healthy, while Alicia still struggles with her food addiction.
I need to know that I get to go home and eat this. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You as well.
Thank you. As long as I can remember, food has always been a part of my life. But now, all I think about is food.
Did she just say 9? Wow. Alicia really needs to stop for a minute and think about the harm she's doing to her body. It's understandable that food is her happy place and she struggles every day, but damn, that's a lot of eating.
I want to give him a life that I know he deserves, that we deserve. But I'm afraid that I won't be around long enough for that to happen.
It's always good to see people make efforts to get better, and that's exactly what Alicia is doing. She's on her way to see the doc, but she has to break the journey because her body is starting to hurt. Nothing. A good night's sleep and some food won't fix.
Right now, I have that same anxious feeling that I would get when I was a kid and my mom would take me to fat clinics. The first thing they would always do is weigh me, but I would weigh more and more each time.
It looks like her past trauma might be getting to her again. Seeing that she weighs over 600 pounds on the scale, she remembers when her mom would always make her check her weight and would be disappointed at every figure that popped up. Well, let's see what the doc has to say.
So Alicia, this is what we're going to do. I'm giving you 1,200 calorie, high protein, low carb diet with list of food you can eat and food you can't.
You can always count on the doc to be nice on the first day. He wants Alicia to cut down on all the sugar she takes in, and he wants her to lose 50 pounds within the next month. Sounds like an easy task, but we'll see if she can say the same thing.
Enjoy our home as much as we can before we have to leave it behind.
Oh, thank you. I would describe Alicia and I's relationship at this stage of the game as strained.
That's not a good sign. Alicia's boyfriend says that he thought the weight loss journey would bring them closer, but sadly, that's not the case. He is worried about her because she doesn't talk much anymore. A breakup right now is not going to be good at all.
For Tim and me, it has been stressful on Tim and me to be so far from home. So knowing that there's a definite path forward will make things so much easier. I hate getting on a scale in front of other people.
Damn. Even she can't believe her eyes. This is her third appointment with Dr. Now, and her total weight loss is not even up to what the doc told her to lose the first time she saw him. She did put effort, but unfortunately, it was not enough. Let's hope the doc is not too harsh on her.
She's still at least taking in 6,000 to 8,000 calories, maybe more. So you both are playing a game here. You can seriously think you're not eating enough, Alicia.
Surprisingly, that went really well. Dr. Now tells her that he is going to send a dietitian to her home who is going to help her with her eating disorder, and he wants Alicia to lose 45 pounds within the next month. This is her last chance. She really has to make the cut.
But you've shown me a willingness to do some of that hard work. So I'm approving you for weight loss surgery today. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Hard work does pay off, and Alicia is proof enough. Dr. Now is proud of her efforts, and she is finally getting approved for a weight loss surgery. Looks like she's going to be able to save her relationship after all.
Come right back on. Let's close it up. This will help them to lose weight. All right, we're done. Alicia's surgery went very well. The size of her stomach made it difficult to operate.
This is Karina's story. She struggles deeply with her body image and says she can't bear to look at herself in the mirror. In her own words, no regular person should look the way she does. Karina is just 33 years old and already weighs over 600 pounds. Each morning she wakes up feels like a gift, but also a surprise because she lives in fear that one day she just won't wake up at all. The question now is, can Karina turn her life around? Let's find out where it all begins.
I have lost most of my mobility and I can't stand on my own. Because of that, I can no longer live alone. Even worse, I have to live in the middle of my parents' living room.
It's hard to imagine dealing with that kind of struggle every single morning. Karina's bedroom is just a few steps away from the bathroom, and that's by design. She can barely stand or move around on her own, so any extra distance would be almost impossible. And yet, despite how close the bathroom is, even something as basic as bathing still feels like climbing a mountain. Every morning brings a physical and emotional challenge, and it's a reminder of just how much her weight has taken over her life.
And then I use ropes to turn it upright. I'm trying to do everything myself, but it's getting hard. I'm very afraid of losing my independence. I'm very afraid that here in a year or less, I wouldn't be able to wipe my own butt.
Honestly, I don't blame anyone for being speechless after seeing what Karina goes through just to take a bath. The preparation alone is so exhausting that it could easily make her not want to shower at all. Watching her struggle like this is heartbreaking. You can't help but feel sympathy for her. No one ends up here overnight, and it really makes you wonder, what exactly happened along the way that led Karina to this point? Clearly, there's a story behind the weight, and it's one we're starting to uncover.
No normal person should be really like this. By moving just a few feet, I lose my breath. My life has become living hell because my weight isolates me from everything that I used to love doing.
It's incredibly sad. Karina longs for the days when she actually felt happy and confident in her own skin. Those memories now feel like they belong to a completely different lifetime. These days, she feels completely stuck inside her body, like a prisoner with no way out. Her sense of freedom is gone, and the joy she once had has faded away. Nobody deserves to live like that. Watching her recall her happier times really puts things into perspective. This isn't just about food, it's about a life that's been derailed.
And that really started to mess me up. Because when I was younger and in the hospital, everyone paid attention to me. And now it was like I didn't exist at all. But I really just wanted a little attention. I wanted a hug.
If that didn't break your heart, then you're probably not human. Karina's mother opens up about the guilt she carries. She says she spent so much time working to provide for her children that she didn't notice how much Karina was struggling emotionally. With no one to turn to and no attention at home, Karina turned to food for comfort. It became her coping mechanism, her escape. Her mom clearly regrets not being more present, and it's painful to see how that absence left such a deep scar on Karina's life.
When we were growing up, I did notice that Karina loved food. She would eat all the time. She has always been a little bit heavier than normal.
Sadly, by the time Karina's father realized there was a problem, it was already out of control. He explains that her eating had become so extreme that nothing he said seemed to matter anymore. She simply wasn't listening to anyone. He believes that if they had given her more attention and emotional support when she was younger, maybe things would have turned out differently. Now all he can do is look back and wish they'd seen the signs sooner. It's a tough pill for any parent to swallow.
So I ate as much food as I could. And within 6 months, I was already at 250, 260. And then junior year, I fell in with the wrong crowd of people. I was being really, really rebellious.
Thankfully, her parents eventually took action. Karina shares that they made the decision to send her to Mexico to live with her aunt, and during that time, she actually managed to lose about 125 pounds. That kind of progress is no small feat. Unfortunately, it seems that whatever momentum she had back then didn't last. Looking at her current condition, it's clear that she couldn't maintain that healthier lifestyle. Still, that experience shows she's capable of change, and maybe now, with the right help, she can find that strength again.
I feel that Karina is using the wheelchair as a crutch now, and she stopped doing things for herself. Everything is handed to her.
I reached 600 pounds when I was 37.
Wow, that must have been terrifying. Karina had a balloon inserted in her stomach to help reduce her appetite, and it worked. She lost 120 pounds because of it. But then, everything took a turn for the worse. She was in a terrible accident, and that trauma sent her spiraling back into her old eating habits. It's really sad to see someone make real progress, only to lose it all because of something completely out of their control. That one event changed everything for her, and it shows just how fragile recovery can be.
Just to get out of the front door is a huge challenge for me. And by the time that I do, I'm out of breath. But I prefer to pick up my own food at the grocery store because I'll get what I know what I like.
Now, I understand what she meant when she said that she feels like a burden to her parents. Karina's parents have to do almost everything for her. She can't stand for long, so they are always there to take her everywhere she needs to go. At least she has sweet parents who want to be there for her.
When they're not around, I eat whatever I want. I keep snacks, like hidden away from my family to see. Usually I hide my stash in the recliner. Chocolate is very irresistible for me.
Wow, let's be honest, that amount of food is enough breakfast for a family of 5. Karina really needs to stop eating this much. The crazy thing is that her parents know she eats a lot, but they have no idea she eats this much.
But I'm afraid that one day I'm just gonna eat too much. I'm probably gonna die from a heart attack or I'm gonna suffocate. But I can't stop myself. My food addiction is killing me.
It's a good sign that she knows she needs help. Karina's problem is that she knows that her eating habit is bad, but the fact that she can't do anything about it makes her eat even more. Hopefully, this is what she needs to make her turn her life around.
But this is something I just have to do no matter what. Before everyone is finished, I was gonna say, there's a doctor in Houston who might take me for weight loss surgery.
Really? How do you find out about him?
Am I glad to hear that? Karina brings up the topic of her wanting to see a doctor about her weight. She was skeptical because she thought her family wouldn't approve, but to her surprise, they actually want to help her and they don't like driving all the way to Houston. I love that.
It's a relief that I was able to get in the car. But now I'm scared how painful this car ride would be.
Ready?
Yeah. I'm thankful my parents are helping me do this.
That has to be exhausting. Karina says that she has tried many things to lose weight, and after everything, she ends up adding more weight to her body. It makes her nervous because she feels like seeing the doc would go the same way as her precious attempts. Hopefully that's not the case.
I have to do this.
Hold this and you can pull it.
1, 2.
That's a lot of weight. Karina is finally at the hospital. She checks her weight and apparently the scale reads 631 pounds. Sadly, it's higher than what she was hoping her weight would be.
You have to stop making excuses, and your parents have to stop enabling you. Are they okay with that?
Yeah, for me, it's fine.
Looks like the doc was not so hard on Karina. It's her first time, so things went pretty smoothly. Doctor now wants her to lose 40 pounds within the next month. Will she be able to do that?
It's a doctor's appointment. If it wasn't a doctor's appointment, I'll tell her to go to the soccer game.
Yeah, well, this is the last one. And then next time it's going to be another doctor's appointment, or it's going to be I got to take her there, I got to take her here.
Well, Karina is definitely having a hard time. It's been a few weeks since Karina saw the doc, and things have not been going really well. Her sister is frustrated with the fact that Karina is not taking her weight loss seriously, and this makes her sad.
Now to tell me I have lost the weight that I needed to, and that he will accept me as a patient for surgery. But I'm a little nervous that I won't be able to stand up onto the scale. I really need to see some progress on this scale.
Wow, she actually did. It looks like her sister was just overreacting after all. Her second appointment with the doctor now, and Karina meets the target the doc wanted her to meet. That's very impressive.
I'm really impressed with Karina and the progress she made so far. She's shown me she's committed to this program and getting healthy.
That has to be the best news ever. Karina has worked so hard, and she finally gets approved for her surgery. Man, it's good to see that even her parents are proud of how much effort she has put into getting better. Good one, Karina.
It was a little bit struggle because of her size and her stomach, but we were able to complete the sleeve gastrectomy on her. The surgery today will help Karina to stay on track for the long term.